record. And here goes the encoder. And you are good to go.
I like how we're always just like...
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trash Pandas. I'm Lindsay, and this is my wonderful co-host,
Lauren.
We're so happy to be here with you tonight.
Always, every week.
Hopefully you're staying safe and healthy and away from the COVID wildfire that is our country.
It's so true. I did not even laugh at that. That sounds terrible.
It is so crazy right now. It's insane.
It really is.
It's wild right now, hence the hat, which is backwards to you.
Mm-hmm.
But it says the mask goes over.
No, actually, it reads just fine.
Okay.
Oh, it does?
Because to me,
to us, it's backwards.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Wonderful. So you can see it. So don't be a stinker. Put the fucking mask over your nose.
Don't
God
be
damn
a
it.
stinker.
You know how that they tell if you have COVID or not? They put a swab way up into your brain. And they go, last time I had one, the lady was like 10 seconds each nostril. And
what?
Nope. I was
okay. So having had
to
do this 4 times in 3 weeks.
It's the worst. It is the fucking worst.
It is not an enjoyable process. I really don't recommend it.
So if you don't want that to happen with your nose, put the mask over your goddamn nose.
Yeah, because
there is no point of it down here.
No, it's not a chin diaper.
This is how COVID happens. This is where they test for COVID. So mask over nose.
Yeah.
Don't be a jerk.
Don't be a jerk.
You filthy animals.
You filthy animals. Perfect.
Okay. So this week you said you haven't been watching much, but
I haven't.
I have to talk. Okay, so first, finish Queen's Gambit. Amazing.
I started it. Yes. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Just saw that the sales for chess boards and pieces went like skyrocketing because of this show, which is so super cool. The other thing that I have to mention is Bravo, which is my favorite, started a new Housewives series, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Ooh, okay. I can get down with that because I don't want to start one that I haven't seen much of before. So I'll start this one.
This only has 3 or 4 episodes out right now.
Sold.
It might be the perfect Housewife franchise. I don't know. I mean, that is talking really soon, but I feel like they figured out the formula for what makes like the perfect Housewives scenario. And it is so good. Like we have ex-Mormons, we have converted Mormons, we have like
sold.
You've sold
me on this already.
We have a Pentecostal church leader there who feels the spirit. I mean, like it is wild. It's wild. If you need something new to watch, check it out. It's so trashy. It's so good. I love it. So far, I am sold. I love it. I'm hooked, line, and sinker.
I will totally start watching it now that you've given that rave review about it. I seriously will.
Good. I mean, they're so hateable.
I love that.
Like there's like maybe one you kind of like. And then the rest you're like, you are a horrible human being. And why is that good TV? I don't know, but Bravo figured it out. They know
what's up.
They know we hate or we love to hate those awful human beings on our show. Yep. Like I love it. I adore it.
Sold. I can watch that.
Is there anything you want to talk about before we dive right in?
Not really. I haven't really had a chance to watch stuff. Again, I was like working or, doing a whole bunch of stuff with school and whatnot. But now that we're all off, I'm going to have nothing to do but watch TV. So
wonderful.
We'll see what's happening.
All right. So let's dive into 90 Day the Other Way, the most recent episode. We start out with Jenny and Submit.
I love Jenny and Submit, but I also think that Jenny is just completely out of her realm with like the cultural differences.
Yeah.
She is just beyond it. And it's like sometimes I feel like she doesn't even try to understand
where he is coming
from. Exactly.
Yeah. So the Prime Minister of India finally like lifts the lockdown. They're able to go out. They are about to go meet with a marriage lawyer to figure out exactly what they have to do to get married. And they are traveling to Delhi for this. And Submit, before they leave, pulls out like these little cards, and they look like a little like ID cards that you wear around your neck. It's like a lanyard.
A lanyard, yeah.
And they're supposed to keep the virus away.
I wonder how much he paid for those.
And I wonder, like, what is it? Like,
yeah, what is it supposed to be?
What
like,
is it supposed to?
Is it like a prayer, or is it like a chemical? Like
yeah,
not chemical,
like, or
but
like like citronella,
right,
or something. Like,
what did
is
this
it?
guy just buy? For
Right,
her?
like, what were you just suckered into, Submit? I don't know, but it was.
I do want to know how much you paid for that.
It was
We'll
cute.
see.
So, Jenny suggests, like, as they're getting ready to go see this lawyer, like, hey, why don't we give our intention to marry? Because we have to go to Delhi to do that. So why don't we just give our intention to marry while we're there? And Submit's like, if the lawyer says it's okay, and I mean, if there's enough time, I'm like, classic sign of a dude who wants to get married right now.
Yeah. He's acting so willing to just get married.
Like, he just is like all about this idea. I'm like, red flag number 1, Jenny. Okay. So she freaks out and she's like, I wasn't expecting this reaction from you, Submit. And
I love your Jenny impersonation.
Thank you.
It's
I feel like I kind of nailed it.
It's like a little bit Kermit the Frog.
Yes. There's a little bit of right. There's
got that froggy
I've
voice.
got some Muppet inspiration behind the Jenny, but she kind of sounds like a Muppet.
No, she really does.
And she kind of looks like Janice, like
a
very haggard Janice.
A very haggard Janice. The only thing that would make her more of a Muppet is when she laughed, she went like threw her head back, like That's like the only thing that would make it more Muppet. But yes.
Okay, so she's worried about her visa. We find out this is kind of why she has this reaction. It's like, I have to leave in 6 months unless we get married, blah blah blah. And Submit's just kind of like, oh well, I just got divorced, so.
And I don't blame him for being a little
but
bit
no,
like,
but however,
apprehensive.
Like, this is the girl that you lured over once while you were married, kept her in a secret apartment, and then you bring her back over after she spends all of the retirement savings. Like,
stop that for 1 second, because in reality, she's been lured over 3 times now.
Yeah, okay, but the first time was like, okay, meeting, and then like,
sure, but he took her over there with the intention of them getting married, as far as she knew, but he did not tell his parents that at all.
Okay.
And so they had like a good relationship. She had like a good relationship with his parents first, and then things went awry.
I mean, how fucking stupid are his parents to think like this woman is traveling from America and she's gonna move in for 5 weeks, and her and my son are just friends.
Right.
Like, sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Submit, but you are dumb.
Which I agree with that, but also you just have to remember that he brought her over that time and then brought her over again.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They got married, or like him and his ex-wife got married. They were over there.
That's why I don't feel sorry.
Showed up at their house. Exactly. And now the 3rd time, and they're about to get married. They're saying there's nothing that's going to stop us this time. And shit just keeps on going awry for them, because he will not, like, I get why he won't let his parents are kind of like helping guide what he decides, but he already knew that his parents were going to say no. So why is he like continuing to bring her over if he doesn't intend on just going against them completely?
Yeah, that's true.
So
no, I get what you're saying, but that still does not leave me much empathy for Submit in this.
No,
and Jenny, because honestly, Jenny,
all 3 of them,
like, you're an idiot.
Exactly.
Like, you're an idiot. Like, I love how like hopelessly romantic you are, and how hopelessly blind to reality you are sometimes. It's very endearing and sweet. And I think that's why we all love Jenny.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it's like, you're a fool.
Yeah.
You are a fool.
What did George Bush say? It was like, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me
me
twice,
twice.
you're not going to fool me again.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he
makes zero sense.
he literally did it 3 times, and she's just like, why is this the same every time? Like,
what's the definition?
even George Bush fucking figured it out.
What's the definition of insanity?
Doing the same
Doing
thing
and
with
expecting the
a
same
different
result.
expecting a different result by doing the same thing.
Oh yeah.
And it's
Expecting
like
a different result.
you
There you go.
constantly are
Yeah.
going through the same motion. She's been
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
Why are you doing that?
So they go to see this lawyer, and he says, if you have people objecting to the marriage, that could prevent your marriage. But his lawyer basically says, well, but here's another option. You could do this. It's called Arya Samaj. I might be pronouncing that wrong.
Sure.
But they will marry you. And he says they look at the soul of the people getting married. So they don't have to worry about converting to another religion. She can stay Christian, he can stay Hindu. They don't have to worry about parents giving blessings. They don't have to worry about anything. There is like this loophole in the law where if you go and get married under this Arya Samaj, none of that will be like, you can get a legal marriage.
Right.
So Jenny is kind of like shocked by all this because she had no idea about it. And I'm like, oh yeah, like fucking Submit had no idea about it. You know, Submit probably had an idea about it, and he's probably kicking his lawyer's shins underneath that goddamn table for being like,
yep.
why you bringing this up, motherfucker? So they set a date for wait, back it up for a second. Submit still says, even if we do pursue this type of marriage, I still want to talk to my parents because I don't want my parents to disown me. So even if we do pursue this, I need their blessing. Like,
it doesn't
plain
matter,
and simple.
right?
Like, I don't plan on disowning my parents. He said before the season, I will pick my parents over you.
Yeah.
Like,
so again, that's another point against Jenny
red
where it's like,
flag.
why do you think that this guy is going to choose you over
Mhm.
them when he's
Mhm.
blatantly told you multiple times that he won't?
Right. So then afterwards, they set a date for their engagement party or their ring ceremony, which is a big deal in India because you're telling everyone. It's like an engagement party. I think we said last time, like times 10. It's like where you're expressing your intentions. You are going to get married, and it's a big deal in India. And so they set a date for this. And they decide they're not going to invite Submit's parents. So,
and you know that's a Jenny idea.
Yeah,
we all know that's a Jenny idea.
So then they have a meeting with Submit's brother Amit and his wife, so Submit's sister-in-law. They had gotten married in the COVID lockdown. So they're newlyweds, and they have them over, and basically the idea, I think, to invite the brother over is to have him go back to the parents and be like, this is a real relationship and blah, 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 blah.
Like, they're going to do it regardless.
Yeah. And so what ends up happening though is that Jenny kind of drops this huge bombshell that they're having a ring ceremony. They're having it tomorrow. And Submit's brother is just like shocked.
They keep on just looking at each
they
other.
are shocked. They're like,
what
is this?
What is happening?
Is this for real? So then they say, you two are invited. We would love you to come. We would love you to be a part of our day. And they're still just shocked. And his brother's like, or no, actually his wife was the one that was like, but you're going to tell mom and dad, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And they Submit and Jenny just kind of like exchange looks, and the brother's like, you need to tell mom and dad. Like, if you don't tell them, like, this is just gonna worsen
it
our
looks
already
worse.
strained relationship. Like, even though they're never gonna agree to this, if you don't tell them, it's gonna make things a million times worse.
Yeah.
So Submit asked them for their help in like getting their mom and dad's approval with the whole thing, and the brother says, I can accept your relationship, but I promise you, mom and dad never will. They never ever will accept your relationship. And that is where we left off with Jenny.
Yeah.
Submit.
Unfortunately, I feel like at some point, like, she's okay, they have no other choice. It's either just get married or she's gonna go home,
Mhm.
because she's running out of visa time.
Yeah.
And they keep on like extending her visa
Yeah.
because of the pandemic. But now that over there, the pandemic has been like the lift of the lockdown and everything, they're gonna start trying to like push her out. So I am curious to see what happens with them.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything that has said otherwise, that she's been home or anything like that.
Me
I also
neither.
haven't looked very hard.
I haven't either.
But usually that kind of stuff comes to me.
Yeah.
Like, people
same.
will send me stuff, or I'll get tagged in something. You tag me in shit all the time.
Well,
we'll
and
send
also
each other stuff.
like,
So
I just like whatever I Google, which I Google trash.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it'll pop up on my Google
Yeah,
alerts, and
same.
nothing has happened.
Same.
So far,
I haven't
so.
seen anything from them. The only thing I've seen any kind of like real different things coming from like Google was with Brittany and Yazin. But other than that, or Jihoon and
Yeah.
Devin. But it's like,
yeah.
those are the two mess couples.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're the super
messiest.
messy.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I expect I'm going to see stuff about them. And oftentimes it'll be like this crazy thing. And then I'll click on it and it's like, oh, but they resolved it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, that's nothing.
So, next couple is Ari and Binyam.
They're pretty messy too, actually. They're pretty messy.
So they are still at the hotel, and they're next to Ari's parents, because remember, Ari's parents are in Ethiopia visiting all of them. Binyam kind of wants to show her parents what Ethiopia is all about, takes them to a capital city in Ethiopia, in a marketplace. Ari's parents are reacting to Ethiopia, and her dad is like super surprised at like that the capital city of Ethiopia is third world.
Okay. Like, do I have to remind everybody of like Sally Struthers, or like the fact that you're in Ethiopia?
That's what I don't understand. Like,
generally speaking, people understand it to be, whether you've like looked into it or not, to be third world.
That's why like is just so shocking to me, is like Ari's dad is a cardiologist. His mom is her mom is an emergency room nurse. Like, we're dealing with very intelligent people.
Yeah, educated, super educated.
Why
people.
are you shocked? And I think maybe that it goes back to just Americans living in their fucking bubble of like, everyone lives this way. This is what life is. And then like, no,
and
it's fucking not. It's fucking not. So I don't know. That was kind of frustrating. Like,
it was super frustrating for me.
Like,
Like, when I was watching it, I was like,
why did none of you do any research?
Motherfucker, you sponsored like 13 little kids for 10 cents a day. I know for a fact. So like,
well, and even like Ari's dad, like, and her mom, like, being so intelligent, it seems like y'all did no research before your daughter moved over to Ethiopia and had a baby. Like, why are you shocked right now?
Nobody in that family did any research, and Ari had been there before and still didn't do any fucking research.
That is so fucked up.
She was like, living in Ethiopia is so much harder than I thought it was gonna be.
Hashtag white privilege.
Right. What the
Like,
fuck?
girl. I mean, yeah, because she was like all one of those white Instagram girls. Like, I'm going to be an influencer. I'm going to travel all over the world. I'm going to go to all of these third world countries and take pictures and do all these
That's a really good
amazing
impression.
things. I'm going to sleep with a dancer. Then I got pregnant.
And now
And
I'm
then
pissed off that he's going out and
fucking
sleeping with other people.
Fucking reality is hitting me in the goddamn face. Like, oh, I'm so sorry for you, bitch. Like, I'm not. I'm
Also,
not that sorry for you.
Dude's not gonna stop doing his dancing gig.
He's not gonna stop
you
playing
moved
ass
over here.
bongos because you moved your fucking ass over here. Like, girl,
He's not playing ass bongos on you. Who is he
Grow it-
playing ass bongos
grow
on?
a set of ass bongos.
For real.
For real. All right.
Get it.
Get it, girl. Your mom even said
Squats.
him and that dancer had some electric chemistry. Your own mother said
She
it.
just is.
She's
just
ruthless.
straight up. Like, I love her.
Ruthless.
I
Yeah.
think I would like to say almost for certain that Ari's mom is my favorite person on 90 Day Fiance the other way.
Oh.
I think that
No, Armando. She's
Okay,
my
Armando
favorite.
is cool
She's
too,
my
but-
favorite parent.
she is just full of perfect one-liners. I
Yes,
love her
yes,
so
yes.
much. They
She's
have a
full of
lot of
good ones.
chemistry.
Those two. Well, I'm like, hey, she's pretty cute. Did you notice? Ari's just sitting there like chewing her fingernail.
Things don't sound so good over here. Like, oh, okay. Thanks, Mom. That's the name of the episode.
Thanks, Mom. Okay. So Binyam wants to show her parents where they grew up. Her parents are reacting to Ethiopia. Her dad is surprised at the state of everything. He's worried about how it's so underdeveloped for his grandson to live there and grow up there. They buy a chicken in the marketplace, a live chicken, I should say, and it's butchered in front of them. And I can unequivocally say I fast forwarded through this whole goddamn thing because
The one
I am a hypocrite. I will eat chicken. I
Don't
don't
wanna
want
watch
to
it
see
slaughtered.
it slaughtered.
I will say this, the thing that was weird about it was that he explained it like, oh, they'll kill it here and then put it in a plastic bag and you can eat it just like that. And I was like,
Raw?
just like that? Like,
Wait.
I'm legitimately concerned.
Time
Hold-
out.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Hold up.
Hold on.
Wait.
Hold on.
Skirt. Back it up. What the fuck did you just say?
What?
I could just eat it like they were put it in a plastic bag and I can eat it.
Sashimi?
They say eat it right here is what he says. And I was like, eat it right here.
No, he does not.
Yeah, he says like eat it right here, eat it right now. Something like that, where it was like literally implied you could eat it that moment. And I was like, I don't think so.
I can't talk about this anymore. I'm gonna throw
Sorry,
up.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna throw up.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna throw
I'm
up
sorry.
white claws
I'm gonna
everywhere.
throw up White Claws.
So they're still in the market, and Ari just starts airing all of their dirty laundry. And her mom's like, so one of Ari's things is, okay, so Binyam comes home and he just comes home and then he leaves again. And he doesn't tell me where he's going, what he's doing, blah, blah, blah. And her mom is like, is this normal for your culture just to like walk in the door when you get home and then walk out the door again? And Ari is like, just remember, I'm an American baby. And
Yeah, because she calls him baby for some
yeah. And then I'm like, I need to know, or sorry. Oh, she goes, I need to know what you're doing. Just remember, I'm an American. I need to know what you're doing. And her mom is like, you know, us American women need a plan. And I just laughed because I'm like, she's an ER nurse and her husband is a cardiologist.
Right.
like, you're telling me there were times where he didn't have to just leave for his job. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying like his job and Binyam's job are all the same, but if Binyam's trying to make money and a last minute gig pops up and they're like, hey, we had a performer cancel,
Yep.
we need you to fill in, and he does, like, I mean, yeah, some of that last minute shit is gonna
Just
happen.
working in the service industry in general
That's
has
exactly
told
what I
me
wanted to talk
has
about.
told me
Yeah.
multiple times that I will be called in for super inopportune times. Like literally 10 minutes before I'm supposed to be at a shift, somebody will call me and be like, "Oh yeah, I need you to come in and work for me," kind of thing. And you suck it up and you do it. So when you're making that kind of money for that kind of job, then that's exactly when you suck it up and do it.
Exactly.
You know, like
Yeah, like if I'm gonna make $500 a show.
right. And that's what he
yep,
says. Sometimes I make $500, sometimes I make $400. And I'm just like, for that kind of money, I would probably stop what I'm doing
and go do
and
it.
get ready and go
Yeah.
within seconds. And actually, I will say with confidence, I have left concerts like in the middle of a concert to go and work somewhere. So
Ari kind of explains that she feels bad because she told Binyam that she wasn't going to discuss the problems between the two in front of her parents. But then I'm like, okay, Ari, well then don't get mad when Binyam's family gets involved in shit, because you promised him that you weren't going to tell your parents. Binyam talks to his family. Why are
Yep.
you mad then? So fuck right off.
so fuck right off. Love it.
So Ari says putting their two cultures together is kind of like pushing against the tide. And she says he'll never know until he sees how I grew up. And then the parents kind of give advice on communicating between the two, because they already see obviously that's a huge issue. So the next time we see them, they unload all of the stuff that her parents brought for the new baby, and they go see their new apartment. And baby's like, this apartment is so much nicer than like anything I've ever been in. But then her parents get up there and her parents are like, this apartment is super small.
It's trash.
You're
Don't
gonna
like
need
it.
you're gonna need to get into a bigger apartment ASAP. Mom's worried about the fridge, and she's like, I'm not trying to be insulting, but you need a bigger apartment. And I'm like, girl, people grow up in like studio apartments,
Yeah.
and they are just fine individuals. Like, that is a fine apartment to me. I don't know.
I didn't see anything wrong
I
with the
didn't see
apartment.
anything, and
So
Binyam put a toilet seat on, so we're fine.
I
What
like
is
how
the
they
issue?
waited until like the parents were coming to like put the toilet seat on, because I'm like, what happened when his like
Right.
9-month pregnant
Right,
girlfriend
right.
came over? It's all right, you hover.
You hover. So basically, they just keep saying how small it is, and then Ari's like, well, okay, the apartments that you guys would like, the luxury apartments, are super expensive because expats come over here and they buy everything up, and we can't afford a good apartment. And then his mom goes on to ask, like, baby, like, how much money he makes. And I'm like, this is so awkward and demeaning. Like, for you to be questioning them about their finances like this is just like so awkward.
I completely
It's
agree.
so awkward.
I thought it was very, very
I'm
awkward.
like, it's demeaning to him too. And he explains, he's like, I'm in a service industry. There's some nights I make this much money. There's some nights that I make this much money. And I'm like, I relate to that so hardcore. Like, I worked in obviously you too,
Mhm.
for millions of years, and you can't rely on anything.
Nope.
It is what it is. And so basically her mom's like, well, if we knew how much you were bringing in and how much you were doing, like, your dad and I could help out. And I was like, meaning you could pay for everything? Like, well, then just go ahead and fucking pay for it.
Right.
Like, quit fucking demeaning him and like just pay for it because obviously money is not an issue. So
There's more.
they all go out to eat with his siblings. Wish is there, and all sorts of shit comes up. They say that Ari gets mad too fast.
They said she freaks out, which I was like,
yeah, and
then they say like we're not being demeaning towards you, or we're not being like disrespectful, and I was like, you're saying words like freak out and
they say like she needs to calm down.
Yeah, like first of all, everyone knows that the quickest way to make someone fucking flip out is say calm down.
Yeah, and they say like culturally it's weird for a woman to like shout at your man, and the mom's like, oh, so you just let it go? And they're like, well, no, we would talk to his parents about it. Well, baby doesn't have parents,
Right.
baby's an orphan, so now what?
Yeah.
Now what's so anyways,
and her parents are talking to them about it right now.
yeah,
so
this really throws off her parents, and they just see that like the couple has like a lot of problems, and then they bring up the baptism, the fact that Ari has agreed to let Avi get baptized, and Ari has not told her parents this yet. So when it gets brought up, you just see Ari like immediately be like, well, I haven't told them that yet.
I was just about to.
And her dad is like shocked that he's getting baptized, and Ari's like, well, it's just a little water on his forehead, and like I'm not trying to like go super deep into this. And her mom, who's not even Jewish but she's Catholic, and she was like, well, if they're baptized, that means they're baptized into the religion, like letting Ari know how serious it is, whether you agree or disagree, because I would be from Ari's standpoint and be like, who gives a shit? Like, it makes the family happy.
Drunk face.
Don't care. So anyways, the dad is shook and
He's shook. He was shooketh.
Mr. Ari is shooketh. And the sisters explain the baby's gonna go straight to hell. And Ari's like, I told you, like, we're not using that kind of language. I don't believe that. The baby does not go straight to hell. I don't even have a concept of hell. So no. And then we kind of just leave that situation and we move on to Brittany and Yazan.
Just gone.
Just gone.
We don't talk about that anymore. Wait,
Yeah.
Side note, something I told you already, but I just want to like throw it out there. For some reason, Ari's dad's voice is like super pleasing to me. Like it sounds really good. And I was talking to Lindsay about it, and I was like, why is that like such a pleasing voice to me? And we realized that he sounds like a good doctor. And I was like, yeah, I would like trust anything that he says just because the way that his voice is. So interesting.
Very
kind of wanted to throw that out there really quick because that was pretty crazy that we both agreed. So
yeah, for sure. He's super cute.
So Brittany and Yazan.
So Brittany and Yazan, Brittany's like doing the robot outside, and she's pretending to be all drunk.
While we're waiting for Yazan to pick her up.
While we're waiting for her boyfriend who hates alcohol to come pick her up. And her best friend's there with her, and her best friend's like totally sober and fine and just like staring at her as she does this robot, and it's just like, you're a fucking idiot.
Watching you do this thing.
Then they're done that. So he picks them up and they go to his store because he's working as a barber. He has his own store, and Brittany's being flirty and cute. And it's like, I'm going to cut your hair, and cuts his hair drunk. What are you thinking, yeah?
Probably don't cut his hair anyway.
Probably don't hold scissors to someone's head when you're fucking drunk.
And
don't
cut his
super
hair
sharp
anyway.
shears.
Even if you're not drunk, like if you're not a fucking, if you're not licensed to do that, please just don't.
So anyways, he knows that she's like super drunk right now because he can smell booze on her, but he's like, I'm just not going to cause problems. Like, I'm just gonna let this one go and slide, whatever. So the shop's nice. I mean, it is what it is. Look nice. Yeah, and it's nice to see that they have some sort of chemistry, because up until this point I was like, why?
Yeah. No, I agree.
So,
Let's split this one.
oh shit.
Ooh.
He says that he doesn't care about her being a Christian that night too. And is like, you don't have to convert. You can just do whatever.
Yeah.
And that was pretty big. And her friend was like, I'm not seeing all of like the crazy crap that you told me about Yazan.
Yeah.
Like he seems like pretty okay. Don't understand. And then the next day, he shows Brittany his apartment. And it's what I would expect.
It's not terrible.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's like,
Just a regular apartment.
yeah.
I mean, it wasn't bad. Like
I mean,
when,
other than the shower situation.
totally, but like, I mean, when I saw it, I was like, okay, he's like trying.
No, he's trying. He's
Definitely
fine.
trying.
He's fine. Whatever. Okay. So
He's fine.
she's sick in Melissa.
Wait. Go back for a second.
Wait, what?
Because she says, I want to wait a year to get married.
Oh.
And he was like, okay, yeah, like I'll wait a year. I care about your happiness. And, you know, if that makes you happy, then I'll go ahead and wait a year. And then, so then she also says, like, I'm not going to move in until you fix the shower. And he says, okay, that sounds reasonable. But then the next day, when they're talking about it, he's like, well, in reality, I said I was okay with waiting a year to get married, but can't actually do that.
But did we? I didn't think we saw this part yet, because this is the part where he takes her to the translator.
I mean, I watched it today. Did you?
I know,
watch it
but
today?
yeah, but I don't think it was in this episode. I think it's in the next episode.
Oh, it is?
Uh,
Oh, okay. So that was my bad then, because my shit automatically goes to the next
he
thing.
takes her to the next. Yeah. And
Okay.
You got.
All right. I got like a little snippet of next week.
They
Okay.
always give sneak peeks from next
I
week.
hate that, because I'll be watching on like the app Philo or whatever, and sometimes it won't go to the next episode, and sometimes it will.
Yeah, so
And I'll be
that's
like,
gonna be next week.
Okay,
So
next
that's
week
why I
it is.
stopped
Okay,
there.
sorry, my bad.
Okay, so she's sick of Melissa. So Tim is with his mom, and they decide to go out one-on-one before she has to leave, because she's leaving to go back to the States. She's in Colombia right now. And she wants to know Melissa truly appreciates like what Tim has given up for her in the States to like try to be a part of this relationship. And she's basically like, she can't keep throwing the cheating card at you. Like, if you guys are truly going to move on and be happy and
Which
like
I
get
agree
over
with.
this, like, she cannot keep throwing the cheating card at you. And yes, totally 100% agree with Tim's mom.
If you
on
guys
this.
decide that you're going to like move past this thing that really like fucked with your relationship,
you cannot
then
bring
you
it up
can't throw it
anymore.
up again.
Mm-mm.
And like, I know that it's hard not to continuously bring up something like that.
Yeah.
I know multiple people who are in situations that don't even involve cheating, but just in general, when something happens that's hurtful and you go, okay, I'm willing to look past this.
Yeah.
You need to look past it forever.
Yeah.
And never bring it up again.
Yeah. It's done. It's done and buried. You have to.
Right.
Otherwise, it's never going to work.
It's never going to work, because you're going to keep on bringing up the same bullshit.
Yeah. So he says what's really weighing heavily on his mind is the fact that Melissa hooked up with someone during their breakup, and his mom didn't know that up until this point. And his mom is actually like on Melissa's side kind of about this, and is like, well, maybe that's something she did to see if like she really wanted to be with you in the long run.
Sometimes you have to do something like that.
Right, exactly. So she's not like super hateful towards Melissa, and she's like pretty understanding, like,
which is interesting because they have such a strange relationship.
Yeah, they did.
And I feel like if Melissa had heard her saying that, she would have had a stronger bond with her.
Absolutely. And a stronger bond with Tim.
Sure.
Like, yeah, your mom's right. And it's good to know that someone from your side is on my side about this. So then they talk about the fact that Tim's worried, like, because he knows that Melissa's not ready for marriage, but his visa there is running out. So it's like either you have to get married to find a job, because he can't just find like, he's been completely unsuccessful with finding a job up until this point.
Right.
So he's like, either we have to get married, or like I'm gonna have to go back to the States and I'm gonna have to make more money, because like my financial situation is not secure. And basically he's worried about what this would mean for his relationship with Melissa, because he knows, like, if I go home, things may never be the same.
Yeah.
And then him and his mom have like this kind of like teary-eyed, misty-eyed moment, but she's really cool about it. And she just says, like, I just want you to be happy. And I know, like, maybe you coming home is the right thing to do, but whatever you choose to do, like, I'm going to support you like 2000%. So his mom was like really sweet about all of
Yeah.
it.
She also said, I'm not going to be here forever
Yeah.
to help you through these things. And like anytime that anyone says anything like that,
I know it
it
chokes you up.
always chokes
Yeah.
me up every time.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh my God, how terrible is it to like think about that, where it's like your mom just wants to see you do
Happy.
the right thing and be with this person, whatever
Happy,
makes you
healthy,
happy.
and thriving.
And God, like
Yeah.
for it to just not work out, or if something happened to her, oh my God,
I know.
it's just so bad. Okay,
It's sad.
nope, I agree. I'm sorry, Mom. I hope that you're, you're
We
able
love
to get
you,
everything. We love you,
Moms.
Mommy Cheese Stick.
Cheers to moms.
Oh, and all moms, but also Mommy Cheese Stick. We
White
hear
claws
you.
to moms. We love you, moms.
Cherry White Claws to moms.
To damn moms. Okay. So they go to a couple counselor together, and Tim says this isn't the first time they've been to a couples counselor together. They went to one in the States right after Tim had cheated on Melissa. But they go to this counselor together in Colombia because they obviously still have a bunch of issues to work out. And Melissa expresses that she wants to forgive Tim. And Tim says the easiest way to get him a job would be marriage, which we already talked about this, but he knows that Melissa isn't ready. And then he explains to the counselor, I may have to go back to the States. And Melissa is shocked by this because she never heard him say anything like this. She didn't even know this was like a thought in Tim's head. And she says, it's too early. Like, it will be a breaking point for us as a couple. And I just still don't trust you yet.
I think that this is like the first time that I felt like Melissa has expressed any emotion whatsoever.
Yeah.
Let alone for him.
And so she just goes on to say, like, she had no idea that he was feeling this way, and that kind of almost felt like another betrayal, that like he hadn't said it to her.
But she's also like spinning that to like be another thing against him.
And I understand that. However, like, if I'm being intimate with a person, which they have been recently, and you're trying to rebuild, like, you're just hoping that you're gonna have like this gateway of like open and honest like communication. And like, so I can see how she kind of feels like, well, why didn't you share those doubts with me if I'm supposed to be like your other person or your soulmate? And I'm not
agreed,
like, you know what I mean? Like, I would kind of feel like taken aback a little bit about that too.
However, like devil's advocate, it's like you have the other person that's sitting in that situation going like, I don't feel like this person completely cares about me or is like in this situation with me. And it feels almost like you're working against each other. And even when you are feeling like you have this like bond and this like, like you're working together to like make that life together.
Yeah.
You still have like separate thoughts where you're like, I can't tell this person this, because she has so much distrust towards him.
She does.
That's
why I think
almost
that
anything he does.
She assumes that he'll be like
completely
1000% transparent with like anything he thinks, which is not fair. That's not a fair expectation.
On the flip side, it's like, if you were the person that's like, I don't want to give them another reason to feel like I should be
Right.
like gone,
Right.
then I would be
Right.
apprehensive
Right.
about telling some information that I have about our relationship if I feel like if I say it, it's going to like cause more of a drift.
But that's why also Tim's an idiot, because it's like,
Yeah, he is.
but like, you could have just not brought that up in
He's
therapy.
literally a cheese stick.
like you dumbass cheese stick getting all soggy and shit in
You're
therapy.
soggy.
You got all soggy.
We need you to be
You lost
crispy.
your fucking backbone,
Mhm.
and you just let me, Lisa, know something that she probably didn't need to know yet.
Probably didn't need to know. Exactly.
Or ever.
Something that should not have been said.
I bet the TLC producers were like, hey, cheese stick,
You
I
should
got a
try-
bath of marinara. You
I've got the
tell
stuff for you to
Maylee's
marinate
all the
into.
bad shit. And then just dunk
They're
into
like,
the-
hey, check it out. We're gonna
marinara.
stop putting you on the show unless you give us some fucking drama.
I know, because this shit sucks.
yeah, for real, they were not worth the time this entire time. So.
Ever. I mean,
Literally ever.
literally,
Literally.
the man is known for being a cheese stick. So how
It's just as bad as being known
good-
as a baked potato.
right. Or a couch potato, or any kind of potato.
Or any potato.
I'm a potato.
I'm a fucking.
I said I'm a potato. I didn't even say potato.
Wait, last
I'm
time
a-
you said you're a potato. You said you're a baked potato. You're a twice baked potato.
I'm a twice baked potato because I'm extra.
I'm literally every kind of potato.
But
I'm
I
just
love-
a potato.
I
I'm a
love.
spud.
Oh my god, what potato do I love the most? Potatoes O'Brien,
Ugh, no.
mashed potatoes.
Mashed taters are my jam. I'm a mashed potato.
Heavy
100%.
breathing, heavy breathing, heavy breathing.
I'm a mashed potato for sure.
Girl, if
like,
if you're a mashed potato, I'm like
twice mashed
Twice.
potatoes.
I'm a loaded potato, mashed
I'm
potato.
like a chunky mashed potato, and you're like pureed.
oh
Fully
girl,
pure-
that means I'm dude.
You're so extra mashed potato. Okay.
That means I'm
The best potato.
extra potato. Okay,
Literally the best.
so next couple is Kenny and Armando. Okay.
Mhm.
So they go back to the office where they had to file for their marriage license, and they bring Hannah with them this time. And they're in the car and they're driving, and they tell Hannah where they're going and the fact that the office had denied them the marriage the first time. And Hannah goes, ugly trickster. And that was to the person that denied their marriage. And I was like,
That
she
poor
is the
baby.
cutest baby of all time. Ugly trickster.
I love her. I think Hannah is like the
She is
cutest
the
part of the
cutest.
entire thing.
She is the best ever. So they show up to this office, and it was the same lady they dealt with before, but they have to basically sign the denial letter of the marriage certificate. So why they got denied. And the letter says a bunch of fucked up shit. And one of the most fucked up parts of the letter was marriages between a man and a woman to guarantee and save the human species.
How fucked up.
So
What's crazy to me is that these two gay men have 6 kids between them.
the two of them.
Like they've literally
five.
five. Yeah, five.
Five.
They have 5 kids between the two of them. And I'm like, here. They have 5 kids between the two of them, and they are like literally saving the human species. Like that's it.
They're literally creating the most compassionate wonderful
Oh, yes.
people.
Yes.
Like
And Hannah being so accepting and so loving.
That's who we want recreating the human species.
Exactly.
Just so you all know. And
adopt some children.
Right. And also, what a fucked up thing to say, especially on a series that we're watching where there are men marrying women who are too old to have children, or women marrying men too old to have children. Or what about all the couples that get married and have fertility issues and have to go to science for that? You know, gay couples can go to science for that too.
Yeah.
Like, it's just such a fucked up
transgendered,
right?
And, you know, it's like there's
anyone and
everyone
any
in the world.
type of family, but it's just so fucked up that this is a piece of paper that they have to sign, and they walk out of there and they actually say, like, this is humiliating and this is so fucked up, and like,
and the paper they sign literally says, like, basically, like, I concede to
this
being the answer.
Yes, I concede to the fact that
they have to go to human resources afterwards and like talk to them about, or not human resources, but they have to like go basically.
So
like,
they take this letter and they have to sign it, and then they are now sending on this letter to a human rights office.
Human rights, yeah.
And what's super or human resources of Mexico. So what is so fucked up about this too is that, like, Kenny was explaining to us the reason why they moved to this particular state in Mexico is because it is more progressive with marriage laws. So think about this, like, they're even in a state of Mexico that is considered more progressive, and they're still denied, and they still have to sign an ugly letter like that. Yeah. Like, that is so
and then go and say that their rights are being like tread upon for that.
Yeah.
In order to try and actually get married.
Yeah.
And Kenny can't do anything without.
No, he can't get a job.
He can't get a job. He can't have residency, and then he can't get a job without that.
Yeah.
So what a fucking nightmare to be in. Trash.
And not the good kind. Okay.
Trash.
So the last couple we have to go over. Perfect. Finally, Devin and Jihoon.
It's so simple too.
So her parents are coming to the wedding that they've been planning, like an actual wedding. They Zoom before her parents come, and her mom still expresses like that she has issues with Jihoon of fucking
she has a distaste.
She's the worst. And then it was so funny because Devin's like, I just want you guys all to be calm. And then Jihoon comes in the room and he's like, oh, you're talking to UP? And Devin's like, UP? And he was like, yeah, UP. Alicia phobia.
Like, first of all, I love Devin's like Jihoon's one-liners. I love his one-liners. He is so funny. The past couple of episodes, he hasn't had any really good ones, but
yeah, because he's been like a dog with a tail between his legs.
Except for our family's anal is getting so dirty.
Well, that was first season.
No. Just recently when she was like, oh, you're upset because we don't have a bidet, and he was like, my anal is so dirty. Yeah. I was like, yes, oh my God, he finally said something funny. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's so funny. So
anyway, yes,
that was very funny. Alicia phobia, which is Devin's mom's name is Alicia, so he's scared of Alicia. Okay, so they go to pick up her parents from the airport, and I was writing this. This is the funniest shit ever. So I'm watching and I'm looking at how Drusilla hugs her parents or her grandparents, and I was like, oh, it's so sweet. They just love each other so much. So I start writing how sweet it is, and I go, Sweet, and I go to write Drusilla, my phone corrects to Dracula. So the fucking sentence goes, Sweet Dracula missed her grandparents.
Sweet, sweaty Dracula.
Sweet Dracula. That's what, because
Mrs.
Drusilla just
grandparents.
doesn't pick up, and so it
Because
just.
who the fuck names their kid Drusilla? Nobody names their kid Drusilla.
I would love to know the thought process on that. I just really would. Like Drusilla.
My
And
mom,
you call her Drusilla. You don't even have a cute, like, little
no, like
nickname
Dressy
for her.
or like Scylla
Or
or
like
Silly or like
Big
anything.
D.
Big D. That's the one. That's the one. We're calling her Big D. From here on out, Drusilla will be known henceforward as Big D. I cannot wait. That's what we're calling her. That's what we're calling her.
That is fucking hilarious.
Why is that what you went to?
Because I'm like, what else is a fucking nickname?
Not Big D.
I don't know. She's cool. She's kind of gangster. She like messes with
Sweaty ass
G-Hoon.
Big D.
She runs into a street. She has no qualms.
Okay, that's the one we're going with.
And
So her name
Big
is
D.
Big D. From here on out.
Anyways, that's the end of June and Devin.
Why? That's what we end with. Big
Woo.
D.
All right.
All right.
Well, okay. So next Friday, we decided we're doing Voyeur.
Yes.
And
as our documentary, we're doing.
We're gonna
The
do
Voyeur.
documentary. Dave is gonna be back to talk to us, and we're going to do Voyeur, which you can watch on Netflix.
Netflix.
So
The Voyeur. The Voyeur.
Oh, and
Watch
it's
it.
the day after Thanksgiving.
Oh my God! It's like,
Wait, we have Friendsgiving that night.
okay, we have to step aside and do our podcast.
Okay.
Sorry.
We
So
might be tipsy.
might be tipsy. But
Probably
The Voyeur
will
on
be.
Netflix. Watch it. It's really good. Please.
Look at this penis shaped top on top of my head.
I have a little.
Look at this.
I have a ball sack.
Look at this.
I have a ball sack right here.
Look at this.
You like it. Please watch The Voyeur and watch your 90-Day Fiance. We'll be back with that too. Definitely get back in touch with us. Let us know what you guys are watching. Let us know what you want us to watch. We will watch documentaries. We'll watch anything trending. We'll watch anything trash. So let us know. We'll
We
be
love
back
you.
in 1 week. Okay.
Wait, stay
hold up.
safe.
Stay safe.
Stay healthy.
Stay healthy.
Wear the mask
Oh,
over
nope.
your goddamn nose.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye. Dave, he's still recording live. We're still here. You like it so much. Okay, maybe I should say something else.
Dave.
Dave.
Safe word is foliage.
Foliage. Foliage?
Foliage.
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 It's actually foliage. It's foliage.
Foliage. Soliloquy.
I like soliloquy.
I love soliloquy.
I could definitely do that. So guys, because I noticed that we're still live, make sure that you guys are watching The Voyeur. Hey, if you guys have something that you want us to watch, please send us a message on our Facebook, on our Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. It's Trash Pandas Detroit. I'm gonna message Dave now and tell him to fucking put us off. Hello. Dave, are you alive? Yes. So he might be outside smoking. We're all just hanging out. Sorry guys, I don't mean to just be sitting on live right now. Babe.
I'm not used to you guys only talking for an hour.
I know. I was like, well, I guess we're just gonna wait